Guys saw that. Oh, I have three things that are big budget.
Don't walk up for you. I appreciate it.
You should have gotten that. Oh, there it is. Yeah.
How that went? Well, like I said, I'm just getting involved and getting to know people. I know that's why I appreciated the opportunity to just get up. And I kind of hiked down here one day and came back. Oh, that's fine. I'm going to be at the office. I'm going to be active either way. So it's all about just getting to know people. And the best way to do that is show up. No, I'm going to be just as active. I think we're ready. So do you want to pick up right away or?
No, I'll call when I call for the budget. Gentlemen, please take your seats. Got it there? Here's the sword.
Yeah, that's showing up. He's showing up. Maybe just thank you.
I have one. The IT guy. I don't think they have one of those.
I asked Supreme because
Okay, brothers and guests, I call this meeting to order. Please find your seats. Father Vitalis, I invite you to lead us in prayer. Please stand or kneel. The microphone, Steve.
In the name of the Father, and of the Son, and of the Holy Spirit. Amen. Almighty God, we thank you for the gift of faith. We thank you for your love on us. As we have gathered here as members of this council, we ask you to fill us with your spirit, that we may continue to have the grace to know your will and to do your will, to continue to serve you in our level, to continue to serve you in your church and in humanity. We ask this through Christ our Lord. Amen. In the name of the Father, and of the Son, and of the Holy Spirit. Amen.
Thank you, Father. Please remain standing and face the flag as we pledge allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the
republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
You may be seated. Worthy Warden, Brother Joe James, please call a roll of officers.
Jeff, tell us. Worthy Grand Knight,
Present.
worthy Financial Secretary, General Staff. Worthy Deputy Grand Knight, Steve Bonner. Worthy Chancellor, Robert P. Present. Worthy Recorder, James Pepper. Present. Worthy Treasurer, Bruce Henry. Present. Worthy Advocate, Dick Jacobs. Present. Worthy Warden. Worthy Inside Guy, Nick Carlson. Present. Worthy Outside Guy, Ken Duplex. Present. Worthy First Year Trustee, Tom Surrey. Present. Worthy Second Year Trustee, Mike West. Present. Worthy Third Year Trustee, Steve Batson.
Present.
Thank you. The minutes of the last meeting have been written, recorded, and emailed to the council. Are there any corrections to those minutes? Or the reading of the minutes? Brother Richard.
Worthy Grand Knight, I'd like to make a motion to accept the minutes as written and published.
Motion is made and seconded. All those in favor?
Aye.
All those opposed? Motion is passed. Okay. Father Vitalis, would you like to present the chaplain's message? Oh, I'm sorry. I got you in the middle of eating there.
What is that? My message is always a message of gratitude. So I would like to thank the members of this council for everything you are doing. And sometimes we don't remember to express this virtue of gratitude. So that's why I always say thank you for everything you are doing and for your support as individuals and also as members of this council to this parish. Everything you are doing is being appreciated. Continue to ask God to give you the grace you need, especially the grace of courage and strength to continue to express your faith. Of course, I know that we're having this summer locked and the nights are helping us in the kitchen. So thank you for feeding us. You are feeding us physically and also spiritually. So thank you so much. And I pray that God will continue to bless us all and grant us reward after our earthly life. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Thank you for the grand night.
On that note, I'd like to thank our faithful navigator, Joe Cardona, and the assembly for the food tonight. They had it for their meeting, and you're all welcome to help yourself. So thank you, assembly and Brother Joe. Good job. All right. Financial Secretary, worthy Financial Secretary, Darryl Stasky, please give your report.
Brother Grand. Okay, I would like to remind everyone that we just started our fraternal year for 23, 23, sorry. And of course, with that means we're at 0% cap for our goal. But our goal is less this year. Last year we had a goal of 18 new members. This year, our goal is 15 members. And I think, Corey, if I'm not mistaken, it's pretty decided that the most that any council would have to be 15.
That's correct. Yep. It is actually 5 is the minimum that a council, no matter the size, has to recruit, and the maximum is 15.
Now that really puts
A small town.
council, a small council, yeah, only 40 men. Yeah. Ouch. Well, so we have 15. We have 4 candidates signed prospects right now. I'll let our worthy membership director talk about that under his part. We're working on getting them to our degree on the 21st. We have a degree planned here on the 21st. With that, I'd like to recap last year. Last year, our goal was 18. We recruited 19, so we were 106% was our percentage. We recruited 19 new members, which was tops in the state in terms of the number of men. The state newsletter just went out yesterday, and I think Dave and I can send that out to the council. But it recaps all the councils in the state, how many they recruited by percentage, and then how many they recruited net for numbers. So, even though some of the councils recruited 200% or more, they had smaller goals, and so that's why they were ahead of us percentage-wise. But anyhow, we had a great year. We had 3 members come in our McCall roundtable. Had a number of reactivations, then that we met out, and some new members that we met at our after we had our Knights Mass, we did in March. That was very successful, and we met a number of new members, and we're still working on one of them, I think, that we talked to that meeting. So looking forward to doing another Knights Mass and recruitment drive in the fall, perhaps, and repeating that success. With that, I don't have anything else to add. Worthy Grant.
Thank you, Brother Joe. Worthy Treasurer Bruce Honey, please give your report.
Grand night. Before I go through the financials, I wanted to share with you briefly, we got a letter from the Knights of Columbus Charities, Ron Schwartz, treasurer. This is in regards to our $2,892.41 of matching funds that we provided, along with the Ukraine relief money we raised through the Seminoles for a total of $10,000 that went to the Ukraine Solidarity Fund of the Knights of Columbus. It's very well written. I'm not going to read it, but it's available if you want to look at it, or I can scan it and send it out to everybody. But we really appreciate the hard work that was done here with our council and assembly with that cinnamon roll. I wanted to share that with you before I go through the financials. Very briefly, a big activity during the month of June was baby bottles. For June alone, we brought in $11,179.24. We're well on our way towards $12,000 because we have several $100s that I have with me tonight that goes into deposit tomorrow. Total revenues were $11,354.24. Total expenses were $3,521.32. Total expenses were $5,565.85. Our ending checking balance is $29,182.68. The $11,344.15 for the pro-life fund is encumbered, so that leaves an unencumbered balance of $18,838.53. Savings account is $25, and we have a cash fund of $150. So our total council funds were $18,013.53. Very close to where we thought we would end up at the end. This is my report.
Thank you, brother. All right, the Life Committee report, Brother Joe James.
Yes. Reminder everyone this Saturday, the month, 9:30, Grove Street, 10 a.m. Divine Mercy Prayer. That praying till we're still praying, and still in action.
Thank you, Brother Joe. I'd like to call the report for our program director, Steve Monty.
Worthy Grant Knight.
Steve.
as program director, I would be remiss in not recognizing, well, first, before I get to that, I'd like to make some comments in terms of the Silver Rose event we had a couple of weeks ago. It was a beautiful ceremony. It was June 30th, in case of you who weren't familiar with the ceremony. It was about an hour. Again, it was a very beautiful service. My thanks go out to the Worthy Grand Knight for allowing me the opportunity to chair the Silver Rose Committee, to Brother Robert Nee for his input in terms of the format of this Rosary Prayer Service. Had some great ideas which we implemented. And that means the Rosary being said by all nights, each having a decade of the Rosary, and also a lady knight who gave the first reading. I'd like to also recognize Brother Joe James, who was very instrumental in having the attendance be what it was by inviting the Legion of Mary, 40 Days for Life, and the Blue Hats. And we had several members of those organizations attending. We had all in all, the attendance was roughly around 60 people, maybe a little bit more, give or take. Special thanks go out to Brother Joe Cardona for his outstanding job of coordinating the color guard. Also, they were tremendous in terms of the way they performed the processional with Brother Chuck, delivering the silver rose, escorting the silver rose to the front of the altar. And also Brother Joe Cardona did an awesome job of decorating and arranging the foot of the altar display for the silver rose, which also was flanked by Our Lady of Guadalupe. So it was an awesome, awesome job. Well done, Brother Joe. We were also honored and privileged to have a visitor, a fellow brother, Sir Knight, Jeff Allen from Caldwell, who served with this color guard in order to gain the experience of serving the Silver Rose event in preparation for their Silver Rose event, which occurred just this past weekend. Also would like to thank those Brother Knights who participated in the event. Again, it was an all-nights event, service. Brother Steve Gaston, Brother Chuck, Brother Joe Cardona, Joe James, and Worthy Grand Knight Dave, who all led each at the decade of the Rosary. Brother Dave Innebeckler, also, I'd like to thank him for being the cantor at certain portions of the Rosary Prayer Service. Did a great job. Special thank you to Deacon Shack for his serving as a celebrant of the Rosary Prayer Service. He did an awesome job and delivered a terrific homily, which centered around respect for life. The fact that we may have won the battle by reversing Roe versus Wade, but we certainly haven't won the war. And our efforts must continue on. So the battle still goes. The war still wages on. And a special thank you, very special thank you to Father Vitalis and his staff for, first of all, allowing us to have this event. Secondly, for his staff, he and his staff support, awesome support. Sandra and Megan for doing a great job of helping us with the facilities and promoting the event in advance of the event. So thank you to all of you who participated and who made this very special service possible. I know we're running short on time, but I want to take this moment too, and I'll try and make it as brief as possible for you. I'd like to recognize the committees for their outstanding work last year in our council year. First and foremost, I'd like to recognize the community committee Brother Fred Klein, who took the mantle of the committee chair and did an awesome job of leading that committee. And they did an outstanding job last year in holding several events. Taking on the role was just a real example for others to follow. Did a great job and is doing a great job of Leave No Neighbor Behind, Adopt Highway, and Corpus Christi programs. So congratulations to Brother Fred and his committee for their outstanding work and a great job this past year. Also, I wanted to mention the blood drive too, which was spearheaded by Brother Joe Cardona, which falls under Fred's guidance and leadership as well. So great job on that too, Brother Joe. The membership committee, Brother Ray Henson, and Worthy State Advocate, Ken Reed. Awesome job of leading that committee, taking care of the membership, promoting our membership, driving membership at certain events that we've held throughout the year, in large part to their efforts, which is a reason why we were able to achieve our goal this past year. Our council goal. And also contributing to the fact that we made Star Council this year as well. So congratulations to the membership committee, Ray and Brother Ray and Brother Ken. Also, our life committee, Brother Joe James, awesome job this past year organizing the Holy Rosary Divine Mercy every third Thursday of the month, and for his work, outstanding work with the baby bottles. Just a supreme job of putting that together, and very successful event, especially as just mentioned by the financial secretary. Again, as I said, just mentioned, we won that battle, but the war continues to save babies. So let's all remember that and keep praying that we can all together abolish abortion once and for all. And last but not least, family committee, to Brother Tom Sorge and Brother Dennis Coons for their outstanding work in serving our parish families and ministries with the fish fries, cinnamon roll events, pancake breakfast, bingo dinners, and other breakfasts and dinners that serve other various ministries. That is a lot of work, and it's a lot of time. And they did a marvelous job this year in supporting all those ministries and our causes. And I'd like to especially recognize Brother Tom and Brother Dennis for their outstanding work this past year. And if I've missed anybody, I sincerely apologize, but we have a terrific council here, and I'm proud to be part of it. And again, I would like to thank our worthy Grand Knight for the opportunity. And I know we're going to do even better this year because of the council we have. Thank you all. Appreciate it.
Thank you, brother. All right, I'd like to move on to the membership committee report. Brother Ray Henson, please give your report.
We thank worthy Grand Knight, Brother Knights, and Father. I'll skip to the 4 names that we have hopefully attending our combined degree on the 21st. That's the 3rd Thursday of this month. Brother Bill Avey is a new member candidate. I am meeting with him on Wednesday to find out more about him at coffee to get some more information for him. Also, there's a candidate who's now an E-member, Stephen Jaskowick. I hope I pronounced that correctly. I don't know a whole lot about him, but I know he lives out in Nampa. So I hope to find out some more about him too. Hopefully those two brothers or candidates will be ready for their combined degree on the 21st. Also, brother Toby Pfeiffer, actually he's a candidate. Toby Pfeiffer, he has completed a Form 100 and he hopefully will be at our meeting in free, as well as Jeffrey Daigle. I think he went through last. Did he go through? Okay, all right. So I don't know what the fourth name would be. Would you have the information?
That's Mark up in Cascade.
Okay.
Mark Cascade.
Okay. Odessa. Okay. Good. So at any rate, feel free, brothers, to attend the degree exemplification on the 21st. Showtime is 6:45 p.m. at the Day Chapel right across the hallway there. So at this point, that's all I have.
Thank you, Brother Ray. All right, with that, I'd like to move to the Community Committee report. Brother Fred Klein, please give your report.
Thank you, Brother Grand Knight. Our community committee is being powered by wonderful folks in the community committee staff, including Joe Cordona, and heading up the blood drive, which he's going to talk about just in a few moments, and you hopefully already are aware of that. We also have Brother Mike is heading up the Corpus Christi House, which I think you're aware of, and he's going to give the report on that. In regards to the League No Neighbor Behind, we're still making phone calls to our brother Knights, and I think overall it's going very successfully. One of the things that I'd like to invite you to is to, if you have any interest in calling your fellow Knights and checking on them, it is a very rewarding activity. I did not anticipate that to be the case. I thought it was going to be somewhat of a chore, honestly. And I have found that it is very rewarding. And I think the others in the committee can attest to that our brother Knights are very receptive, and they are very grateful for you reaching out to them to check on them. And we're very appreciative. So I invite you to join our team and just let me know. There's a sign up on the website, and you can also touch base with me at the end of the meeting. And I'll turn it over to Joe.
Thank you. So on the 23rd of July, Saturday, will be a blood drive. It'll be officially from 9 to 3 p.m. I'm hoping that I'll be allowed to set up the gym the day before. So this way, when they come in the door of the blood team, they can set up right away. But we can set up the gym like within 20 minutes, 30 minutes, so it's not long at all. The sign up is going well, and I can tell that because I get phone calls. So we're really optimistic. The Red Cross is really very pleased with our participation. The fact that we went from 2 to 4 blood drives in the year. They recognized us for 72 draws, the last blood drive, and they were looking for 30 units. I have 2 shifts of volunteers that I need, and they're roughly from 8:30 to 12, and then 12 to 3:30, time for cleaning up afterwards. So.
And now on to Mike with Corpus Christi.
Thank you. Our goal here is to, of course, support the Corpus Christi House with plenty of clothing, or as much as we can gather, and some other additional items. And it seems to be going very well. We have now a total of 5 of us, actually 6 of us in the here in the council that are actively supporting the transportation for collection and the transportation of the goods. So we basically went from just maybe one vehicle a week picking up and delivering. We're now been doing 2 vehicles a week, pick up and deliver. And I'm talking very full loads of clothing and items. So that's, I think we kind of hit the right balance. And so we have 5, 6 drivers and we have the right demand. And we're hauling a lot of stuff over there every week. It's a tremendous thing to see all the stuff that people are willing to put forth into the bin. Sometimes they don't get it all right, but it's pretty close. I'll give them a score on that. In other words, if you say no child's clothing, you don't want a car seat. But otherwise, it's going very, very well. So I appreciate all the parish is doing to members who are very generous. And when you get down there like today, it's just, people are just really very pleased and very excited to get the, so they did add extra space for clothing. So that's there now, help absorb stuff we're bringing to them. So I'd like to thank Veras for his help, especially with this effort, and Ken, Reed, and Ted Salvatore, and Ed Scholl. He's not actually a night yet, but he's out there driving with us all every week. So anyways, that's about it.
Thank you, Mike. I'd like to call on the Faith Committee, Brother Robert Need. Do you have anything to report?
I don't know that. I think I'm listening.
Thank you, brother. I'd like to call our worthy insurance agent, Brother Andrew Sorley. Please give your report.
Worthy Grand Knight. Well, Brother Knights, my fellow patriots, my fellow Catholic gentlemen, good to be here again. I'm really enjoying working with you guys. Every time I come here is another face that I've met with in person, so it's really good to get to know you guys better and everything. If I give you a phone call, please be open to meeting. I wanted to touch on something that Deputy Grand Knight mentioned about we may have won the battle, but the fight's not, the war's not over. So with the Knights of Columbus, nothing we invest in is anything that be in contrast with our faith. And in light of the recent Supreme Court decision, a lot of companies are really showing their true colors. And if you are possibly invested in the company, that you're like, wow, I didn't know that this company supported something like that, and you don't feel that you want to stay there, we have alternatives, and we have a moral theologian who works on our staff or our asset advisor. So that's something that I don't think very many other financial companies offer. So that's something if you're want to move something from a company that you don't have the warm and fuzzies about them anymore, we have alternatives. And then it's always, of course, another big part, just protecting your family, whether it be long-term care insurance, life insurance, your annuities for your retirement. Just please be open to phone call and meeting. Yeah. Thank you very much. Good night.
Thank you, brother. All right. Before I move on to the district deputy report, I'd like to recognize and congratulate our new state advocate, Brother Ken Reed. Brother Ken, please stand. You have a report.
Thank you, Grand Knight. Brothers, nothing about the state, except that I'm going to be running the safe environment response for the state this year. And at the Supreme level, they're cracking down on that. So there's going to have to be at least 2 nights at every event that the Knights sponsor. 2 nights that have taken that training. So be prepared for that. The second thing is I'll also be heading up the Pennies from Heaven operation. On a personal note, I want to tell you that we've got some great programs here. And I have to tell you that I am participating in Corpus Christi here, doing the pickups. And that's a stretch for me. That's not normally something I do. Right? I'm usually behind the scenes because that's where I prefer to be.
but it is so rewarding to get out of what I normally do. If you try something different, you really get a great feeling when you get out there. You know, so I guess what I would ask all you brothers to do is look at what your level of comfort is. Stretch a little bit, maybe try another program and see how that works for you. You might be surprised. Thank you, Grant Knight.
Thank you. All right, with that, I'd like to move on to the worthy district deputy, Brother Corey Hill. You give your report.
Thank you, Brother Grant Knight.
And that's okay.
Yeah, no, yeah. So, gentlemen, thank you so much for a great, awesome fraternal year. I just echo so much that has been shared tonight. My heart is just so warmed with joy, and I really feel like tonight is a celebratory night. We have a lot to celebrate. We have a lot to congratulate. We have a lot to be happy for and to be proud of. And I just thank you all for all you've done. Your each individual contributions, you know, the power of one, but also the power of unity. This council exemplifies those four principles very, very ardently, and I commend you for that. You're united in your front. When somebody calls and asks for help, there's someone to answer. When you need to be fraternal and just say, can I pick you up? How are you doing? Is there anything that I need or that you need from us? They're there. Those phone calls that you've been making, they're getting out there. There was a gentleman that stepped up as a worthy district deputy for District 7, and you actually made a phone call to him and reached out to him, and it really warmed his heart. That was Brian Simer. Brian Simer is a member of this council, but he stepped outside of this council to serve another district, and he made one hell of a difference. He did something in this state that hasn't happened in many years. Not only did his councils win star, but he also won star district, but then he also won all-star district because all of his councils won star and his district won star. So, you know, Brian is an amazing man, you know, and he has a lot of redeeming qualities, and he has a lot of things that the rest of us can and do learn from. So, Fred, you guys are doing a great job. Thank you for that. So to you, Ken, I just want to tell you thank you for all you've done for me as my district warden. You did a lot for me as district deputy, just to learn and to really, you talked about going outside of, you know, what's the norm. You've had me reach outside myself of what it means just to be a leader. You've rounded off my rough edges, and I really congratulate you and thank you for saying yes to the worthy state advocate position. And I look forward to working closely with you. Please don't stop advising me because I need that help. So thank you for that, Ken. And I just echo all the things that have been going on in this council. So worthy Grant Knight, Dave, I just wanted to tell you that you've done a lot of amazing things for this council. Our worthy Grant Knight was stricken from the flock in Scott Holman, and you stepped up and you really made a difference in this council. And I know that there were some moments when maybe you didn't feel like you were worthy, or maybe you didn't feel like you were quite ready, but you have answered the call in spades. And I thank you for that. I thank you for leading these men and their families. And with that, I want to give you a coin. And this is the Knights of Columbus Grand Knight fraternal, it's engaging fraternal leadership coin. And this is given out by a superior leader to the leader who is the recipient of the coin. And I'd like to give this to your worthy Grand Knight, Dave Serradino. He has been an exemplary leader. He has stepped up and he stepped outside of himself. And I just congratulate you, Dave. Going on with talking about the different awards and the things that this council has done, I'm happy to finally tell you that even with all the supply chain issues and all the things that have been going on at the convention in April in Idaho Falls, your worthy Deputy Grand Knight announced that he was present for winning the Life Award. And this is something that your council not only one within the district, but also within the jurisdiction of the state of Idaho. And the state recognized this council for your work that you've done within the state with respect to life. You have made a difference not only monetarily, but representing yourselves at Planned Parenthood by reciting the Divine Mercy Chaplet and also the Rosary. And I just want to commend you for that. And I have your life award here. It finally made it. And it's a beautiful award. It's got Dave Sergino's name down as your worthy Grand Knight. And, you know, part of this award that you won this for was not only all the things that were mentioned by your life chairman, but also from the fact that you had your life mass. You've also had the baby bottles that collected funds, and it's how you use those funds. Brothers, I want to tell you, this council made the largest donation from the state of Idaho to the ultrasound initiative. And with that money, this state, which is a smaller jurisdiction, we put in 3 ultrasounds, one at the Reliance Center in Lewiston and 2 up in Coeur d'Alene, I believe is what the final was. And this award is something that you should be very proud of. Now, a couple of things. I'm presenting this to the council tonight, but I'm going to leave it up to the Grand Knight and you, Father Vitalis, of how to best give this to not only the council, but also the parish. Without the parish and their generosity giving in those baby bottles, monetarily, we would not have been able to make that difference. So I'm going to leave it up to the Grand Knight if he wants to like take a picture of this, put it in the bulletin, and say thank you to our parish, or if at one of the masses, Father Vitalis, if that would be appropriate to present this at mass, that would be appropriate as well. So we'll leave that up to the council. But men, this is something representative of what you have done for life throughout the state of Idaho. Congratulations. So staying on the theme of congratulatory words, as was mentioned by your financial secretary, your worthy financial secretary, this council won star. This council hasn't won star. I believe it's been, correct me if I'm wrong, financial secretary, at least 5 years plus. And it's not for a lack of trying. You have certainly had the programs, you've had the recruitment, you've had the insurance, you've had a lot of initiative, and you've also led the way when it comes to the rest of the state on how to conduct yourselves as Catholic gentlemen and also as a council. Brothers, to win the Star Council Award, you have to do numerous things. I'll be very brief, but you win the Founders Award, which is to promote and attend at least 2 fraternal benefit nights. You need to win the McGivney Award, which is to meet or exceed your supreme membership quota. As your financial secretary mentioned, it was 18. You recruited 19 men to make a difference. And the last thing is the Columbian Award, which is you need to have programs under the Faith in Action initiatives of faith, family, community, and life. There's an opportunity for 16 of them, but if you have other programs, which you guys do with respect to your food for families, your coats for kids, and that sort of thing, those programs actually can count for more credits. And because of all of your efforts, this council won star. And that is absolutely amazing. That is great. For the largest council with the largest parish in the state of Idaho, I commend you for that. Congratulations. When that award comes, I'm going to push for a state officer. We have one in your council, but I'm going to push for like the state deputy to come here, and I would like that presented at mass as well. That is something that is very noteworthy. So congratulations, gentlemen. With respect to just some closing remarks that I have, e-membership is still very active in the order. E-membership was reactivated for another fraternal year. It's still complimentary, so if you invite someone to join the Knights of Columbus as an e-member, they are able to go to kfc.org/join, and it'll ask for a code. The new code to get free e-membership is Blessed McGivney. And what the opportunity is as an e-member is you get onboarded. So Supreme will send you emails, phone calls, you get an e-membership card that will actually permit you to join in on the meetings. The only thing that you don't get to do when it comes to an e-member is you have no voice to vote. You have all the other capabilities as an e-member. You can hold insurance, as Andrew Sorley can attest to. You can participate as in the council fully, except for no votes. So the e-membership is a great opportunity. If someone's kind of on the fence or just like, well, I'm just not quite sure, there's always as an e-member that you can be onboarded and learn about every opportunity that there is with respect to becoming a Knights of Columbus. Get your Form 185 and 365. Once you get those completed, Worthy Financial Secretary, Worthy Grand Knight, and just send those to me so that I can have those on record of who your chairman, directors, and your officer corps is. I am getting my summer district meeting together. As soon as I have that date and place, I may host it at Risen Christ, or I may host it here, depending on where I can get a place or a room to host that. And the regional growth director in the past has been Brother Chuck Davlin. We now have Ray Lopez as our regional growth director. And he has requested to host those meetings, and he actually wants to present the district meeting. I've always done it in the past, but I'm trying to work around his schedule as well as my schedule, and also that of the worthy officers that work with me. So as soon as I have that, brothers, I will let you know. And the officers are the ones that are normally invited to that, but anyone who has potential or wants to be an officer, wants to learn about being an officer, wants to even serve in a higher capacity within your council, that meeting would be for you to learn about what it means to be called above and beyond in the Knights of Columbus as an officer. The last thing is just, I just ask you to review some things about the last fraternal year that really worked for this council, make improvements as necessary, things that worked well, continue to improve those and drive those and complete those as appropriate. The last thing is just start organizing your fall church recruitment drive. I'm happy to help with that. I have numerous materials that I can bring and share, and anything that I can do to continue to make this council as successful as it is, or more successful that you would like to be, please let me know, let your Worthy Grand Knight know, and I will help you to make a difference. So congratulations again, gentlemen, and Vivat Jesus.
Well, first of all, I'd like to thank you, thank the state and for these awards. These are really, truly your awards. I'm just a spokesperson. You guys are the workers. You guys get it all done. So thank you guys, and we'll post this. We'll put it up in our room or wherever we can find some room. Might have to make another shelf, but thank you guys and great job. All right, with that, I'd like to move to the 4th degree report.
Well, it's just been a great day, start of a new adventure for me as a faithful navigator. We have a mission and a vision, and we know the values, and I believe that we will continue to move in that positive way. Right now, looks like we might have an exemplification of May 6th, but I'm sure our color corps will be involved in other exemplifications throughout the state, particularly the Treasure Valley. And we're going to make our social hour from 6 to 6:30 so that we can get committee work done and that we can have fellowship while we're chowing down. And with that, not really anything else to say at this time.
Thank you, Brother Joe. I'd like to thank the Assembly, the Color Corps, and all the members for the volunteer hours, helping the council and our relationship. So, thank you. All right, I'd like to move on to new business. The first item of the new business is going to be the budget. If we could please post the budget, share the screen. We're going to go over it briefly. We did have an officers planning meeting where we went in depth and basically pinned down the numbers. Everybody was invited to that present. I will allow for some discussion. There were a couple of last minute things that were brought up that we couldn't move on. I'll try to get through those as we go through them. So with that, the first one in the green, all these greens are going to be income. The first one, dues and initiation, 7,200. Pancake breakfast, these are all incomes again. These are projected, so they're just a guess, okay? So these are based on past events, basically. Pancake breakfast, 6,000. Lenten dinner, 17,000. Devotional books, 3,500. Other fundraising, 1,500. We'll go down to the FBOs. The FBOs, $10,000 for 4 cinnamon rolls events last year. We're having 6 this year. The next one's Corpus Christi, which is going to be an FBO. The Jolly Project and St. Vincent de Paul will also be. Now we put a line item of 500 in there and 1,200 for the Corpus Christi. Those are normally budgeted items that we give, and we don't normally give money to St. Vincent de Paul, but we are planning on doing a cinnamon roll event for that. So I'm sure they will be a little bit higher as they come in. Shirts and aprons, 300, name badges, 300, refunds and reimbursements, 3,500, donations, 500, other income, 500. Moving on to the expenses, delegates to the state convention, $1,200, name badges, 250, other council expenses, 2,000, postage and mailing, 1,000, shirts and aprons. We got plenty in the back. We don't plan on buying any this year. If we do a sweatshirt or another shirt or whatever, it'll just be paid. We'll order it, pay it, and we'll bring it to a vote. Let's see if we want to do that. So, let's see, Supreme Council supplies, 500 per capita. Supreme per capita, $1.50 per member, it's 500. Is that number correct? 500? Or Supreme per capita, $1.50 a member?
Yeah, because that includes our placemats and.
Oh, okay, okay.
Placemats, and it includes all my supplies.
Okay. All right. Supreme Catholic advertising, 200. Supreme Cultural Life, 300. Moving down, state per capita is 3,000. State liability insurance, 800. State ceremonials.
We weren't charged last year, so we're not expecting
This year.
this year.
And our financial secretary compensation, he's the only paid member, $600. So the church going down to operational expenses. Are there any questions so far? And moving on to church expenses. Church expenses, donations, $1,000. Priest retirement home, $900. Rosary makers, $150. Coats for kids, $500. Corpus Christi, these are under community programs. We left that one blank because it is a FBO, so we didn't put a number on that. The FBO will be paying for that. Salt and Light Radio, we bumped up a little bit this year and gave $1,000. Hopefully that'll help us to bring home the trophy. And with your help, I'll try to get it out ahead of time. So keep that in mind. Let's see, we got Special Olympics, $1,000. We doubled that. The reason why we doubled it is we thought, since we're not that involved, we'd like to put a little more money towards it since we do have some money. We had a really good year, so we'd like to put a little bit more money towards that.
I just wanted to kind of comment a little bit to the council that the Special Olympics haven't given up on
selling tickets. What they do now is they sell everything for tickets online. So there's still opportunities for involvement with Special Olympics, especially the state Special Olympics chairman, who is Richard Bearlocker, was actually at the state meetings this weekend. He gave us a brief overview of what's going on in the state with respect to the Special Olympics. He's kind of adjusting his position to make sure that they have all of their ducks in a row when it comes to our involvement. They're hoping maybe for the winter Special Olympics opportunities here throughout the state. He will let us know. It'll come through me as the district deputy, and also Ken will learn some things as well as a state officer. So between the two of us, we'll make sure this council is aware of what's going on for Special Olympics, so that if somebody wants to be involved more than just monetarily or to sell tickets or to participate in the raffle, they can, with like being a coach or a scorekeeper or what have you, with bowling and that sort of thing. So we'll keep you posted as that comes up.
Okay, thank you, brother. All right, then after that, it goes to other community programs. Now, there was a couple of questions about that. It's a pretty big line item. The community committee has asked for $500, which falls under that 5,000, as well as other things in the community that we do plan on paying for. One would be if we do the Oktoberfest or Carnival, we'll have to build some things for that. It'll come out of that money. Also, we have a barbecue that we're going to have to take a look at to do some serious work to, and that may be quite a bit of money to repair or replace that if needed. That also will fall under this, as well as a lot of other things like roses for service or whatever. There's a lot of little line items that get kind of added in throughout the year, and they add up really quick. Are there any questions on this?
For the grand night.
Okay.
For the membership program, I'm looking for not just rosaries, but pins and everything like that. That we need to get better quality roses, for example, for when the wives show up. That type of thing. Where is that?
Other council programs?
Okay.
I don't think that we have one under vocations or faith, so it will come under other council programs.
Okay, so
Is that
that's
what-
where we'll ask for some money
Okay.
for that. Thank you.
All right, anything else? That will move down to pennies from heaven. That'll go to the state for the amount of $1,000. We up that as well. Fourth degree contribution is at $2,400 right now. We plan on discussing that within the next few weeks with the assembly. So that may change. We will bring that to the council, present it, and it will be voted on. So, but for now, it is 10% until we reach an agreement. Council Emergency Relief Fund is set at 2,000. Flowers for Valentine's, 300. Other council programs, which will be for membership or quite a bit. I mean, there's a lot of little things that add up, but that is 500. The Jolly Project we left open since it is another FBO. Other family programs, we put in $1,000. RSVP program for the seminarians, 500. Right now, we do have one seminarian, Ian Wilner. That'll be for him. St. Ignatius scholarships, we have $1,000, and other youth donations. So camps, I guess there's forming some camps and stuff like that. We put in $1,000 for that as well. Any questions so far before we get into the next one? So Jared?
Granted, we talked at the planning meeting about maybe $1,000 contribution Right to Life other than just collecting money from the parish that we as a council would?
To add for
And
the,
some, yeah, as a line item?
yes.
Did that make the cut?
It did not, we kind of talked about it, and the baby bottles will kind of fall under that, if I'm not mistaken.
We'd have $12,000.
So, yeah, so far we have $12,000 for Right to Life organizations. Now, did we talk about a specific Right to Life or just Right to
We
Life?
just talked about a contribution from us other than just collecting. the
Okay,
parish.
from the Knights of Columbus, okay.
So not just what they gave us, but us making some type of contribution since we had, like, Ukraine, where we voted to give additional money
Yeah.
from the.
Yeah, and we could, that's up for discussion if we want to, from the Knights of Columbus, put in additional money, $1,000 and make a line item added to the budget, which will go and add to the pennies from heaven. We could discuss that. A motion would have to be made if we did do this, so. Is there any other discussion on adding this? If there's no other discussion, we'll move on. Farther down the budget to pancake breakfast. It's based on 3 events. $3,000, Lenten dinners, $10,000, devotional books, $1,200, parish festivals, $2,500. Other fundraising, $1,500. Which comes to the last page, $18,200 for fundraising expenses. That brings us down to the cinnamon roll events. FBO expenses was $2,575, and we bumped it up to $4,000 since we are doing 2 more cinnamon roll events based on increase, inflation, all that. We felt like that was a pretty good number. So FBO expenses totaling $4,000. Total expenses, we plan on $51,800. That's kind of it. Are there any questions on the budget for discussion at this point? All right. With that, do we need to make a motion to vote on the budget approval at this point? Or do we just call for the vote to approve the budget as it is written?
For the grand night, I'll stand to make a motion to approve the budget.
Second.
All right, so we have a motion to approve the budget as it is written here and seconded. All those in favor? All those opposed? Okay, budget has been approved and passed. All right. With that, I'd like to move on to I'd like to discuss a little bit about the loft dinners. Now, we've done one loft dinner on, let's see, it was last Tuesday. We had a lot of help. Thank you guys for showing up. You guys did a great job. We did hot dogs with potato chips, macaroni salad, and what else was there? The chili, yeah, thanks brother Joe, bring the chili, that was a big hit. So everybody got a little bit of chili on their hot dog. So it turned out great. Everybody loved it. The hot dogs were great. I gotta say, they did taste better than the bingo night ones. I don't know what happened there, but they were pretty good. So we ended up spending, I don't have my sheet, do you? So far,
576.20.
so we spent a total of $576.23, and the church said that they would cover the cost of the food. But I'd like to hear discussion on whether or not we would like to pick that cost up and pay for it, so that we're not, putting that burden on the church. Brother Steve?
For the grand night, I'd like to make a motion that we do cover the cost for those 2 nights that we do service.
Okay, so before we get too involved, we still have to buy another 50 hot dogs and hot dog buns. We have 125 hot dogs out of the 300, so we did 175 in our last one. We get another 50, so that's one more box. I don't know what the cost per box is. Brother Dennis Kuntz bought them, and I don't have a line item on everything. But I'm thinking with the buns and everything that we have chips left over. We have some macaroni salad left over, enough to cover. And all we got to do is buy 1 box of hot dogs and some hot dog buns, probably 175 or 200 of them. So I'm thinking a cost, additional cost to the 576, probably another 150. So it'll be close to $700 for both events if we do cover it. So a motion has been presented, and it would be for about $700 after we get the total cost in. Is there any other discussion on this matter?
Second.
A motion has been presented and seconded. I call to vote. All those in favor?
Aye.
All those opposed? Okay, so the council will pay for the costs for both loft dinners that we will present. So the next one is on. Thank you. All right, so the next one will be next Tuesday, the 19th. And if we have another great turnout, I'd say next time, let's show up at 4 or 4:30. We had a lot of guys show up at 3, and we didn't have anything to do for about an hour. That's how much we got done. And some of the other ministries came in to help us out, and mostly everything was done. So thank you guys for showing up and helping out and getting this a huge success. So good job. So the 19th, I'll send out another email. 4:30 showtime. Please sign up online. If you could change that from 3 p.m. to start to 4:30 online, that would be great. Okay. All right. With that, all right, let's move on to unfinished business. Is there any unfinished business that needs to be addressed at this time?
Where's that night?
Oh, okay.
For the grand night, under unfinished business, I have a presentation to make. And this is for Ray Henson. Ray has earned honorary membership in the Knights of Columbus. He's got 25 years in, and he's at least 65 years of age. When he turns 70, he won't have to pay any dues. But for the next 5 years, he pays just $10.
Congratulations, Brother Rand, and thank you, Daryl, for grabbing that. I didn't bring it up, so thank you. All right, is there any other unfinished business at this time? All right, with that, I'd like to call for the good of the order. Brother Chuck?
For the nights we have a grill that's very old. You know how old it goes? No. Well, very old. You look down to the bottom.
We got information on this. I didn't know there was anything wrong with it last time.
Yeah, we have a The screen on the top is teak and it dips down. As you move along the grill, it's about so long, I think. And a couple of months ago, I looked into, or I started researching and ran into a stone wall and I asked, Dennis Shaw, where did he's got to get, oh, anyway, Dennis tracked down a fabricator for us. And the fabricator is willing to put a new screen on that grill for about a little over $400. And so I'd like to make a motion that we have a new screen on that grill.
I'd like to wait on the motions and get a full assessment because I'm a little bit worried about the top as well. That top is so heavy, I'm afraid that if it's opened up, it could tip over. Is that not the case?
No,
Okay,
I open that top all the time.
all right, so there's no chance of it falling over. It seemed like it was awfully heavy last time I was out there. And, you know, a little bit nervous, but yeah. For motions and stuff like that, I'd like to present them in the officers meeting before we present them into the planning meeting, because right now there may be more that needs to be done to that, like hacking the bearings and checking the tires, you know, whatever. I'd like to get a full assessment on that before we make a motion just to replace one part on it. So,
Yeah, who's gonna do that?
well, somebody, one of us. One of us. So that's taking it down to like Les Schwab, checking the axle, checking the tires, making sure everything is good to go on that. So, you know, before we make a motion, let's get a full assessment on that and go from there. That's okay. Good with that? You good with that, Brother Chuck?
So I'll throw a motion for tonight.
Okay. All right.
We've got to get this grill straightened out.
Yeah, it's going to be used quite a bit more, and we do need to get it fixed. So we will look into that, hopefully by the next officers meeting, which is it's not next week. It's a little ways. So we still got a little bit of time, but before that, we'll get an assessment on it, discuss it, and then bring it to vote in the next meeting, hopefully. All right. For the good of the order, anything else for the good of the order? Brother Rich?
With the green light, Tony for letting white. Could really use those friends. Thank you.
Tony Frugaletti? Brother Court?
I'm leaving and I just asked for prayers for Mark Sherrill, or Mark Fortin's, and his wife Cheryl. She had, she's recovering from surgery that she had today. She's doing well. She just needs some prayers while she's healing. She's got the best care, you know, Mark is taking care of her, so that's why she's not here this evening. So I would just ask this body to pray for Cheryl Fortin as she heals from her surgery today.
Very good. Thank you, Brother Court. Brother Mike? In the back.
Yeah, I'd just like to ask for prayers for my daughter's going to be having a grandson on Saturday from Denver, so I'm expecting to go.
Okay. Congratulations. Anything else for the good of the order? Yeah.
For the grid, I do have a prayer intention. This is for my wife's half brother who lives in Colorado. He has a massive tumor that they're going to operate in his stomach, and his surgery's in a couple of weeks. So, her brother Mark.
Brother Dale? Anything else for the good of the order? All right, with that, I'd like to Call on Father Vitalis, if you could please offer us a closing prayer and invoke the divine blessing. Please stand or kneel.
In the name of the Father, and of the Son, and of the Holy Spirit. Let us observe a moment of silence as we pray for all the intentions that have been spoken and all the intentions we have in our hearts. Our Father,
who art in heaven, hallowed be thy name. Thy kingdom come, thy will be done, on earth as it is in heaven. Give us this day our daily bread, and forgive us our trespasses, as we forgive those who trespass against us. And lead us not into temptation, but deliver us from evil.
the Lord be with you.
And with your spirit.
May the Almighty God bless you and protect you. Father, Son, and the Holy Spirit.
Amen.
Peace be with you.
And your spirit.
All right, with that, I declare this meeting adjourned.
I know.
No, not this time.
Yeah.
Yeah. Councilwoman, you guys are- Oh, okay. Good stuff. Oh, well, somebody's got to